All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Aussies taking over the NBA. We have a post-Thanksgiving edition for you guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube and all good podcasting apps. We're going to get straight into it today. Celtics Hawks, good old-fashioned thumping of Atlanta.
Yeah, just it was good for them to get out there and run. They had a big first quarter and first half. Baines with the top score, 16 points.
Yeah.
It was good to see.
Good old Bainesy.
Yeah, no Horford, so I don't think Atlanta have a very good array of big men. Anyway, they've got Alex Len, and that's pretty much
it. Yeah, no, they're not, and they're pretty old, to be honest with you. It's really, let's just try and put Trae Young at the point and build a team around Trae Young. And if that doesn't work, well, we're fucked. Yeah, Bainesy, 5 from 7, 1 3-pointer. Seems to be hitting those corner threes quite well.
Yep.
Hitting the free throws, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block, and a plus 16. So that's a good outing from
good
old Bainesy. Horford hasn't been playing well.
No, I don't think he has either.
Well.
Struggling a little bit. Defensively and offensively, he can shoot the three and he can shoot the mid-range. I find that Tatum looks like he's kind of getting in the way of that big man coming out to shoot that mid-range.
Yeah.
It's affecting Horford. I think Baines doesn't have the athletic ability to hunt and block shots.
Baines is kind of that point center that comes out to the kind of key and is just really a rock in the way.
Yeah.
He's not going to go and hunt blocks. He's not going to stand around the rim. He's going to try and push you away from the rim.
Yeah.
And that's where the Celtics have been good, is pushing out to the 3-point line and, guarding that quite well. But he's not a guy like Thon or that's going to hunt blocks and rim protect or Bogut. He's more of that kind of push out big man, and just being a fridge to kind of get around and hard to get around on the drive.
That's where I wonder if that Horford combination doesn't, if he's not playing well, it doesn't quite fit together properly.
Well, I think they've been playing Baines at power forward a bit, which doesn't really work. He's a 5 center, and they probably need to play him at the 5. But
then, you're shuffling, you're moving, you've got Tatum to squeeze in there, Brown.
Hayward just adds too much dimension to the fucking team. It's ridiculous. I don't think they realize, we've got this guy, and he's just adding too many pieces to a puzzle. And now we've got some extra pieces. We don't know where they fit. And it's showing in their games. They're losing games they shouldn't. And that's really through lack of aggression from Horford. And really the games where they're kind of getting away from things. Kyrie is having like a really 40-point night or 35-point night. Tatum added 14. What do you reckon of Tatum in his second year so far? How he stacked up? He was third among rookies last year. Do you still see him holding that level this year in terms of class of 2017?
Not really, but I don't think it's his individual ability that's holding him back. I just think it's that fit of Hayward squeezed in there, kind of pushes a bunch of those players around a little bit into areas where if there was no Hayward, Tatum would just slot right into that 3 spot. He'd probably play a little bit of 4 and a little bit of 2, and it'd be perfect. But now you got to squeeze Brown, you got to squeeze Rozier in there, you've got to squeeze Marcus Smart and Marcus Morris. It just becomes like this breaker of the lineup that they can't seem to get right. But, Hayward going to the bench, trying to come off the bench, and okay, fair enough.
6th man of the year.
Yeah. So, I think they can work it out, right?
I think someone needs to get a long-term injury. I don't hate to say it, but I think no one's getting enough game minutes. And it's just not working as we thought it would. We thought Hayward would come and slot in, hit 25 a night. He's not really being aggressive enough. He's looking to offload the ball. He's not a ball handler, or shouldn't be. You've kind of got 2 ball handlers on the team. You should just be that guy that gets to his spot early, hits up the shot, or can drive to the basket and draw the foul. He's a big boy. I don't know why he's playing outside that. That's your job at a power forward. You're not LeBron. So anyway, but they get the good win against Atlanta.
It was good for them to just go out and slap a team and get that confidence back.
Atlanta are trash.
Yeah, I think they're 3-10 or 3-11. I
think they're 4-14 now.
Yeah, at that time. Yeah.
They're just absolute trash bags. Anyway, going forward and spoon in the East. Cavs versus 76ers. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
first loss at home. Yeah, it hurts, but the Cavs deserved to win this game, to be completely honest with you. Rodney Hood was amazing. Tristan Thompson, they just rebounded better, better offensive glass. Jordan Clarkson scored really well in the fourth quarter. And my man Colin Sexton, 23 points. As a rookie, he looks almost Jordan-esque, or he looks like Donovan Mitchell last year with making smarter decisions.
Yeah.
He's not taking 30 shots a night. He's taking between 10 and 15 and dropping 20 to 30 points. Still got a higher score than Jason Tatum. I think he's got a higher score than Ben Simmons.
Yep.
And a higher score than Lonzo Ball. So he is
in points per game.
As a high score, career high score, 29. Hits the three ball, shoots the three ball better than NBA average. I mean, it was a shame that George Hill was there at the beginning of the year, and he's $20 million a season. They've got to play him. But I think that injury has added a bit of depth to the franchise and getting Colin Sexton some games. It's funny how J.R. Smith says that he doesn't even know how to play basketball, and then they come on. J.R. Smith exits left, and they start winning some games.
Yeah, well, J.R. Smith, eh?
Yeah, feast or famine. Feast or famine. Ben Simmons had a good game. He had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, minus 14 in the night. Jonah's actually injured.
Oh, is he?
He's fractured his fibula.
Oh, wow. But that's a bad injury. How long
No,
is he
it's
out
a
for?
minor fracture, 2 to 4 weeks. So,
still.
yeah. God, the Sixers run of rookies just is
I know. Injuries
shit.
is just awful.
Isaiah Smith finally back after his seed allergy.
Seed allergy?
Yeah, sesame seed. He had this reaction to sesame seeds that sent him into the hospital for like 5 weeks.
Wow.
That's why. Because he had the foot fracture. That healed quicker than expected. Then he had this allergy.
Oh.
And he lost 30 pounds. He's fucked. Like, he's absolutely...
Far out.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bad allergy reaction.
So
Crazy.
the thing to go is going to be getting back to the G League, playing for the Blue Coats by end of season. So that's kind of nice.
Isaiah Smith?
Yeah, Isaiah Smith. Obviously, Jonah's going to be down there as well, coming back from an injury. But good to see. Man, I wouldn't mind going to some G League games if I was over there.
Yeah.
It's like $200 a season. There's 50 games.
Oh, and you get to go to all the games.
25 games. 25
That's pretty good.
$200.
Yeah.
It's mad.
If you live near the arena, it'd be great.
Just like
good
food, cheap booze. They want to get people in, so that's nice. Embiid, 24 points, 12 rebounds. That dude is a double machine.
Yeah. It's almost like Philly don't have that Joel Embiid clone to throw in there. Like if they had maybe a Joel Embiid that was slightly not as good as Joel Embiid to kind of rotate their roster with him, like it feels like their rotations would get a lot stronger. But what they're doing is they're having to take Joel Embiid out and fill it with, Chandler and Muscala.
Muscala's a 6'11" long guy. He's really a 4 but can play the 5. Look.
And then Amir Johnson can't shoot. He's around the rim player.
Yeah, he is, but he's still 45% from 3 for the year.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There you go. Eh?
He doesn't take many. He has to wind up. Like the shot is hilariously slow, but he is 45% from 3 this year. I think
there you go.
7 of 15 or 16 this year. So he can shoot.
Okay, fair enough.
He can shoot. He doesn't like shooting. He's got to be wide open. But he can shoot if need to. Look, Amir Johnson's a fantastic vet backup. Like, he's defensively solid. We don't have a good 4. I don't think Wilson Chandler fits the 4 very well. I think Mike Muscala is a good backup 4, but I think we are missing Saric. That's funny. I was looking through the salary. We can buy Saric back at the end of next season for nothing if he gets released.
Yeah.
So it's like we can put him on, 1.6, get him back and get a 4 back that's potentially a good shooter because he's not playing many minutes at Minnesota.
He's coming off the bench. I don't think he's playing very well, but Covington, man.
Plus 44.
He's just smashing
He is a fan. Like I said, if we could have kept him.
It really does suck that they had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because if they could have packaged Fultz into that deal,
they should have.
That would have been good. That would have been so much better to keep Covington.
Fultz would have been a good backup for Derrick Rose. But again, a week late of this whole Fultz saga.
Yeah, and I'm not sure the contract, whether his rookie contract would have fit in that trade.
$8.5 million he's on first pick.
What's Covington?
Cubs on 10.5. So
yeah, maybe.
But
maybe a first round pick thrown in there or something like that.
Yeah, or a second round.
Maybe even if the Timberwolves even wanted to go with that kind of deal in the first place. But getting Covington is a bit of a coup for them.
Yeah.
Defensively, they replaced Butler with probably a better shooter.
Although Butler's been hitting 44.5% from three since joining Philly.
Jeez, that's pretty good. Good floor spacing.
Look, Butler's dropping 30 regularly, and that's I'm on the Butler bandwagon now.
Yeah,
Sorry,
fun.
guys, he's won 2 games. Redick's 23. Yeah. So JJ Redick is the enigma that seems to be getting better with age, like a fine wine. He's having another career year in scoring. Another career year.
He's a good pro, man.
Yeah, he's great. He gets a little bit, diced defensively, but I think that his scoring ability definitely outweighs. And having the Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and Butler on the floor, you can switch and cover those guys that you need to anyway. So, but good on the Cavs. They showed some heartlage and they took out the win.
Yeah, they also beat Houston the night after, I think, as well.
They did.
In a pretty big game.
Houston's turd, and there was no Chris Paul as well.
A good couple of wins for them. So
Indeed. Next game, Spurs and Pacers.
Yes, 111-101 win to the Spurs.
The Spurs. Did you see what Coach Pop came out and said this week?
Popovich.
Yeah, he's like, I hate the 3-ball. It has ruined basketball. I'm bored. I was just like, but I'm excited.
It was on Bleacher Report, and then Steph Curry put a message in underneath. Nope. But this game was all about LaMarcus Aldridge. No Turner for Indiana, so he absolutely feasted. He had 33 points, 14 rebounds. Patty, 29 minutes, 14 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, a rebound, and 2 assists, 2 steals. So good night for Patty. That's a good win over the Pacers. The Pacers have had quite a solid sort of start to their season.
Kind of like a Philly start where they've lost some games they shouldn't. They've won a lot of games that they should have, and some good games that maybe they shouldn't.
Noel Oladipo still, I think he's still injured.
Yes.
Or maybe was he injured in this game? But I think he's
injured
now, and I think he's missed a few games. So, and then DeRozan had 16 points. Spurs just continue to kind of spurs along, and they'll win when they feel like winning, and then they'll lose when you don't expect them to lose.
Yeah, and they're coming 13th out of 15 in at 500.
Dropped like a stone out of that.
Well, they're not.
West.
Like they're between first and 14th.
Yeah.
And 5 games. 4 games.
5 games separating those teams. It's a bloodbath, man.
It's an absolute bloodbath. It's going to be fun all the way to the end. But Paddy's looking good at the moment. He's really gotten hot.
Taken on a leadership role. I think further on, there's something about Greg Popovich talking about Kawhi and leadership. And he's talking about Paddy and leadership. Like Paddy was twice the leader that Kawhi is. So
but then
Kawhi, a bit of a stab.
Oh yeah, of course. He's like, and then Kawhi comes back out and said, "You don't have to lead with words. You just show them what you do on the court."
But I'm happy to see Paddy is actually making a pretty good contribution to this team because I think he's coming into a contract year. I think at the end of next year.
Look, he'll be there. He'll be on a vet min, $5 million, $4 million. I think they want to keep him around now that Parker's gone, Ginobili, Duncan. It's showing
his serviceability to that team rather than just making it about signing another guy that plays for Spurs. Like he has a service on this team, which is important.
I think as long as Coach Pop will be there, Paddy will be there.
Well, he's going to go coach the USA team in 2019, 2020. So I wonder if he will bail.
No, he won't bail. They always they co-coach.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I think he's coaching with Kerr. I think. Yeah,
when Krzyzewski coached Duke, he coached USA as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they co-coach.
But then NBA, you never know. Well,
because it's like they play like under 19s for America when they play in the FIBA World Qualifiers.
But it'll be interesting to see the USA team like in Australia's best era to play against the US and maybe win. Having Greg Popovich and Kerr coaching that team, it's like, whew, that's some coaching royalty to be going up against.
It is. We just got to get BB on board, Brett Brown.
Yeah.
He's been there before. Let's get him back. Next game, Suns and Bucks. The Bucks chumped.
Yeah.
Jesus. They lost to the Phoenix Suns, who are terrible.
Yeah, it was a weird game. I watched down the stretch of that game. They sort of came back into the game, tied it up, and then just couldn't score. It was just a strange game. Devin Booker played pretty well sort of down the stretch of that game. TJ Warren as well. They're still, like, you can tell the Bucks aren't quite complete yet.
Yeah.
You can tell that there's still a little bit of when they can't get into their rhythm and flowing and the threes aren't dropping, they're still scratching around looking for something. But
that's the Warriors style of play. When the threes aren't dropping for the Warriors, they're like, well, fuck, what do we do now? Let's just go to the ball to Kevin. Kevin, you try and score.
Yeah.
And if he's not, then they lose.
And that's like the Warriors started trying to give Clay that mid-range assignment too, like hitting mid-range. I find he doesn't shoot the mid-range that well unless he can get the team involved and get him to a good spot, which then kind of ignites the team a little bit. I feel like this Bucks team doesn't have a, like, boys, let's all put our heads together and work this out. They kind of have a, well, Giannis, what do we do? Just throw it to him, give it to him, like toss it in there. And he gets into a rhythm of trying to do everything himself.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think over time, they're going to, like, over the next couple of seasons, if they stay together, they're going to work it out a little bit better, trust each other a bit more.
Coach Brad will have this team for a few years to come, and I think they'll all be there come next year and the year after, and definitely title contenders in the next couple of years. But I think Giannis is on track for the most points in the paint in history in a season.
In the universe.
In the universe. Thonny was playing some time. It's good to see Thon and Delly playing, even though they're not trash minutes. He had 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and Delly had a +6, 1 rebound, 2 assists, no points in 7 minutes. But yeah, Booker's one of those dudes that can just get hot.
Yeah, it just gets hot at the end of the game, and you're like, stop hitting shots, man. Yeah. Why?
But the Bucks lost for the 5th time in 18 games this season.
So watching this game, right, you can start to see, now that this Bucks team is coached a lot better, that Thon Maker's game has to develop a little bit more. Like, you can now see his rawness in this team.
Yes.
He can knock down the shot, but when he puts the ball on the floor, it's still very hit and miss. Yeah. So I'd be, if I was him, I'd be like really looking to work on my game this season, regardless of how many minutes he can play. His defense is still a little bit sus, but he can defend at the perimeter, but there's sorts of things he's got to work on. Still has a habit of hunting those blocks and getting a little bit out of position, but he's going to be really good for the Aussie team, man, I think. Yeah. It's going to be important for us to, if Bogut does end up playing in those bigger tournaments.
We just have 2 ridiculous rim protectors at the 5 and 4.
And that can switch and play on the perimeter, but his perimeter defense is not as good as, I don't think, as it was in the finals last year.
I think it was a rise to the occasion. It's like the Iguodala effect. Get to the finals and play.
Yeah. Or the team wasn't well enough coached for his talent to sort of shine in that system. Like, now it's like, oh, right, there's cracks in my game because I can see that we're coached way better and I need to be doing more to fit the better coaching. Whereas before, it was kind of a bit of a mess and there was a lot of bodies in the way. Now the bodies are getting out of the way. You got to realize that, I've got to be a better defender here. I've got to have a higher IQ, make better decisions, higher level type of thinking, which I think he can do. I think he's got that in his locker. But at the moment, I can see why he's not really getting that many minutes now that, even though Henson's injured.
Yeah, but Connaughton's looked pretty bad over the last few games.
Well, he went up and then he went down a little bit.
Look, they're going to have runs of good and bad games. No one's going to hit 70, what is it, 74 and 7 or 75 and 7.
Yeah. It's all about looking at the rhythm and consistency of that team. But Lopez, none of 12. And I was watching this game in the second half and the commentators are counting it like, oh, he's 0-9. But he's got to keep shooting at Barb. He's going to keep shooting. And Lopez again. Oh, he's 0-10. This is gold. He's got to keep shooting at Barb. Oh, it's gold. But, I still think this Bucks team will work it out. They've just got to, get in the fire and test themselves, and they're going to eventually work it out. They're still
marginally better than or miles better than the West. I think at the moment anyway. Next game, Jazz and Lakers, and the Jazz chunk again. Jingles with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and Exum, 2 points, 2 assists. He's gone very cold.
He's struggling a little bit. I think this Utah team struggles against quick teams. Like, when teams play fast and the Lakers play fast, they really seem to struggle. I don't know why. I don't understand why. even Ingles is starting to look a little bit shaky defensively, whereas last year in the playoffs, he was showing really good, solid defense. It just feels like everything's stepped up a notch and he's scrambling to, oh wow, this is actually a little bit harder than I thought.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to run a lot of their like second ball handling option off Ingles. I think that, all right, yeah, you're going to play 3-5 pick and roll, 4-5 pick and roll with Gobert. Yeah, that's fine. That's where you get a lot of your assists and a lot of your points from. But then they need to obviously get Rubio and Mitchell. Mitchell needs to start playing other people into position instead of just trying to brick up threes or brick up ridiculous drives over 7 people. That's my... I think they're utilizing Joe Ingles wrong.
Yeah, well,
he's that guy that should get to position early on in the shot, and you know that he's going to knock down a 40% of the time, and he plays a 4-5 pick and roll with Gobert. That's where you do. You dominate one side, and you let Donovan and Rubio dominate the other side.
Yeah, well, I'm finding he doesn't seem to end up on the weak side of plays at the moment. Like he seems to come in and have to have a ball handling role in the play that they're running. And he's holding, he's the one that's holding the ball, giving the pass to somebody where you're thinking, can somebody else be holding that? And Joe Ingles cut out to the three-point line and he gets the ball. But I don't know. It feels like he's taking it on himself in the game. Like, I need to do more for this team. I need to do this and that.
I think because Mitchell doesn't... Mitchell last year was almost that second ball handler that you could rely on to, dish the ball between 4 and 8 times a night. Now he's just like, all right, I'm going to the basket. I don't care. There's 4 other players on this team. And that's really hurting the Jazz's offense. And that's showing off in their frustration in defense as well. Rubio's having good and quiet. He's very inconsistent. Yeah. They're just not getting enough dishes. I think Gobert is getting munched in terms of speed-wise. He's just not quick enough to get back. And obviously now with them acquiring Kyle Korver. Yeah. That's strange.
For Burks, because Burks at least could give you someone on ball who could produce a shot or create his own shot or make a play for someone. Feels like Korver's more like a finisher, like a cherry on top type player.
He's more like get to the spot when really you don't have the ball handlers now to get Joe Ingles free. How are you going to get a guy who can't create his own shot free?
And his wing defense is really fallen off a cliff.
He's old.
In the last couple of years.
He's old. He's a guy you put into teams like the Philly, or you put him in Golden State, or you might put him at the Lakers, where you've got some good serviceable big men playing well defense that can switch in a quick, and all he is 15 minutes of getting to that line and shooting, which is what Brokoff should be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he's unserviceable defensively. Yeah. He's not quick enough anymore. He's old, but that's fine. He's going to give you 9 to 12 points a night. He's got knocked down 4 out of 8 shots. That's what they seem to be missing. And then this year for the Cavs, they're just playing him as if he was like a proper 3, which is just stupid. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, he's off to Utah.
Yep. So that'll be interesting to see how their rotations change. Because I felt like Burks was yet another ball handler that could make plays, come in the second unit and make some plays, beat a man off the dribble and score.
Like, he's an efficient scorer. He was only playing 15 minutes this year and he was like scoring 9. I was just like, well, you double that out. That's almost your top scorer every game.
That's a bit weird, but maybe
2 second-round picks, maybe a late first-round pick for him as well. Like, you're trading $8 million of salary for $8 million, but you're not really getting... a guy that's going to be long-term part of the... I don't know if they just wanted to get rid of $8 million to try and sign someone next year. I don't know. And they have...
for all our preseason talk about how they had the most balanced, untouchable roster that was so versatile that they pulled the trigger. It's like they just flinched and pulled the trigger.
They've just munged it. Absolutely munged it. How hilarious. The Lakers committed a season-high 24 turnovers and still managed to win. Yeah. I think it was just...
But they're so fast, man. That's what I mean. This Jazz team can't play against fast teams. Yeah. It's weird. I don't get it.
Well, Mitchell got injured in this game. Yeah. It was 2 of 9.
Yeah.
And Burks had 17 points. And you want to get rid of him for Korver? Anyway.
We'll follow that one anyway closely because, the Jazz are a team that we like to watch.
We do indeed. Okay.
They win 60 games.
Next game.
Celtics Mavs.
Aussie on Aussie crime denied.
No Brokoff, of course. And no Hayward.
No Hayward.
Bit of ankle soreness, so he missed that game. The Mavs got the win though.
Great. The Mavs are coming up strong.
They're good. It's good.
It's good to see.
Throwing it together.
Bainesy
Boston,
had 4 points.
4 points, 9 rebounds. A team like the Mavs with DeAndre Jordan, and then with a really good forward in Doncic, a skillful forward. That's a different type of combo for the Celtics to really try and stop. I think if Doncic was just your regular point guard, then they might be able to throw bodies at it. But he just seemed to use his body really well.
This is the Simmons effect. This is a guy who's a point forward, right? Who can shoot the 3 ball. How much does it change the Celtics?
Yeah.
If Simmons could shoot the 3 ball, Philly would win every game. They would. They would, honestly. They'd win every game because it changes the way the lane opens up from Embiid, Butler, and for JJ Redick to get around, because you can't double these guys. If Simmons is out shooting 30% and he's going to take the volume of shots, they can't double him. But as it is, it's just like they leave him wide open. They've got the perfect defense for his lack of offense in that area. But Doncic is definitely looking like he's going to be Rookie of the Year. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he had 15 points in this game. No Brokoff. And then Kyrie Irving, 9 of 24, struggled a little bit. 0 of 5 from 3. Jaylen Brown didn't take a 3. I find when Jaylen Brown isn't playing well, the Celtics seem to struggle too.
He's been really not that great this year.
He's been efficient, but not
taking
impactful.
Volume. Yeah,
not impactful. Like, he kind of seems a bit superfluous to their team. And I'll step in here and do this for you guys. Like, whereas Tatum feels like he's trying a bit too hard to step in, and I'm here, guys. Like, I want to do everything. Blah. Like, I don't know. It's just strange, man.
Yeah, it's moved from potentially, I think, a dynasty to who's doing what now? Who's doing what? So JJ Barea had 20 points.
Yeah.
Doncic 15, but 8 assists on a big guy. He's dishing it quite well.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes looks like he's coming back into some form too. He sort of struggled for fitness at the start of the season when they were struggling. But it's good to see the Mavs, man. I'm enjoying the Mavs watching them because they play a decent type of football, a little bit of all-round style.
Football, eh? You mean basketball?
Basketball, sorry.
Yeah, I've been watching too much Sydney FC.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, next game. Spurs and Bucks. Aussie on Aussie crime. And the Bucks got the win against the Spurs.
High-scoring game, considering the Spurs are known for their defense.
Yeah.
It's interesting. 135, 129.
It is a high game. But again, probably lack of defense, or just the Antetokounmpo effect.
And then, obviously the Spurs are going to have to wind themselves up to play faster and longer. Yeah,
because they're definitely a clock team as well. They like to use their shot clock in all its glory, and very much set plays called out by Coach Pop. Paddy had 9 points, 5 and 7 for the line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block.
Yep.
And the block was Zon Connaughton.
Yep. Perimeter as well, 23-foot jumper blocked. He's taken names, man. He's got 5 blocks this year.
Good on him.
He had 11 last year. I checked it. He had 11 last year. He's got 5 this year.
So he's on target to smash that.
Yeah. And previously he was getting like 2, 3, 4.
Smarter. Older. The older you get, you're not as fast, but you get much smarter as a defender.
Better timing. Plus, I think this system suits his abilities too, where having that mid-range player in DeRozan, that's non-defensive oriented. Like Kawhi was a defensive oriented player, so you wouldn't be in that team expecting to defend. Like, you'd be deferring to Kawhi to do a lot of the defending, the on-ball stuff. So I think it's expanded Paddy's game a little bit defensively, and he's looking a lot better, a lot sharper. His on-ball defense has gotten a little bit better, which is good to see as well. Thon 17 points, 70 minutes, 5 points. 2 of 6 from the field, 4 rebounds, an assist and a steal. Delhi, 5 points, 2 of 2 from the field. He hit a 3 as well, 3 assists.
In minus 14 in 10 minutes. Poor Delhi.
But he's looking a little bit better, I think.
You know what? My Delhi's next move is the Suns. Yeah. He would back up role at the Suns. You could even take that team over as a cheap option to potentially get in between a new point guard, because He doesn't need to shoot at the Suns. You got Ariza, you got Booker, TJ Warren. Like, you've got these guys that can all... You just need to hit them in open space. And that's what Delhi would be great at. Chris Middleton playing extremely well this year. He's in line for max steals next year. I think the Lakers might be interested in him.
Yeah.
I don't think he is a max steal guy. I think he'll be like a Nicolas Batum, who is as useless as a cock-flavored lollipop, but that's cool. What a waste of money that was.
I don't think Middleton's going to be that useless though, eh?
No, I don't. But I don't think he's a max player, in my opinion. I think he looks very good in a team with Giannis in it.
Yeah.
Who can essentially dish to anyone on the field, and all you have to do is open because everyone just collapses on Giannis.
Yeah.
I think in a team without that, driving center, if you had a traditional big man like DeAndre Ayton or DeAndre Jordan or that kind of big
Gobert
man
type, yeah.
Gobert big, he would struggle because I think against a team like the Celtics or something, they would just lock him down perimeter. And you see this in the game. I think you see this in the Philly game with Tim Hardaway Jr. They just locked him down from the perimeter. Butler just honed in. He said, right, you're the leading scorer. He got 6 points the whole night. And the Knicks chumped. Big time. The game was over by halftime. Davis Bertans came off the bench for 17 points. 18 from Bryn. So it was a good all-round performance from San Antonio.
Yeah.
They just couldn't quite
it's just
get
that Giannis factor.
It's the Giannis factor. He is... If he's not 2, he's probably 3 in line for MVP at the moment. I think Kevin Durant's starting to push.
Yeah. He's kind of gotten the window as well with Curry's injury.
Yeah.
Giannis and Embiid is even right up there.
Embiid, from a defensive aspect, is an absolute behemoth because he's the triple threat, which no one else can seem to really shut down yet. I would like him to... again, I saw him against DeAndre Ayton and he still managed to eat him up because I thought that guy, the elbow. I think the only one I've seen is Marcus Gasol. I think Marcus Gasol, smart, veteran player, took on Embiid.
Skilled, a bit more savvy, yeah.
But again, that was a back-to-back game where they got into Memphis at like 3 o'clock in the morning and played the next night, so they were probably buggered anyway.
So everything was kind of against him.
Yeah, so I'd like to see it in fresh. I think game after Philly play Memphis. All right, we're going on to 76ers and Nets, and this was the Jimmy Butler experience.
Yeah, that was his second game winner.
Second game winner.
Cashed another game winner in, which was good.
In exactly the same position as well.
It was a pretty chalky shot as well.
It was a great shot. Why not? So, we're going to write this play up. I'm Brett Brown. We're going to write this play up. Give it to Jimmy.
Yeah, just Jimmy. Just take the last shot. I think that was the Charlotte game where Reddick bet him to take the last shot, and he got it and won the bet type of thing.
Yeah,
they bet him. He bet him in the huddle that he should take the shot, and if he got the shot, I think he bet him some money or something like that.
Yeah,
but that's what you pay for, man. So.
Yeah, look, I'm starting to join. I think. Well, it's funny. You read the reports. Jimmy just came in to the whole of Philadelphia and gave everyone in the organization his Jordan shoes. So cooks, cleaners, he just gave everyone. He's met everyone. I think he's in there for the long haul, to be honest with you. Yeah. And it's good to have him. He's a role player that when he's not shooting well, he just locks down their best player. And defending better, playing better, likes playing with Simmons and Embiid. That's a good 3.
That's important too. I think important that he fit in with Embiid and.
But just
Simmons.
like Embiid, like 2 egos in a team, you can handle.
Yeah.
Because Thompson isn't an ego, Curry's an ego, and Durant's an ego.
Yeah,
actually, probably Draymond Green's the ego.
Yeah, all 3 of them are probably the most interchangeable of personalities. Where this Butler trade had the chance for him to come in and act like Mr. Big Shot. Might have derailed that, but it seems like
Simmons does not give a shit.
Doesn't care, and then Embiid looks like Embiid relishes that mentality. Like he wants more people like that. Not to say that the rest of them don't have that mentality, but it feels like the more people you give Embiid that have that mentality, the more fun he's going to have, the more he's going to be challenged, and the better he's going to be.
And the more he can troll as well.
More in control.
No, the more he can troll.
Oh, okay.
Troll everyone.
Okay,
He's just living up in. Hassan Whiteside's cerebral cortex.
Thanks to the Ringer. Shout out to the Ringer.
This game, Philly went down 20 points and looked pretty much out of it. But some Simmons magic, I think, and some Embiid magic towards the end. And then finally Butler caught well and finished up with 34 points, 12 rebounds. Embiid had 32 points, 12 boards. Simmons, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 blocks, 3 steals and 2 blocks, and was a +9. So efficient minutes from Simmons. And he played very well. D'Angelo Russell was, or Russell D'Angelo as I call him.
Angelo DeRussell.
Angelo DeRussell.
Russell D'Angelo.
D'Angelo Russell. Man, he was hitting shots from everywhere. So Spencer Dinwiddie.
But these guys catch fire and then...
It seems like Philly gets every game that someone catches and drops like a 50 and still manages to lose. Like Kemba Walker shoots 60 and we still win. Fucked. Redick still playing really, really well. But Brooklyn led 118-105 with 5 minutes left and Philly just locked them down. And and then
what about Fultz? You got anything to say on the old Fultz side?
I think we're gonna have that's gonna be a bit of a separate pod. I think.
Okay.
We'll do a separate pod on the Fultz trade and what that means for Philly, where he potentially might land, or what's happening there, and also what Kyle Korver means for Utah.
Yeah.
And some other rumors around. Next game, Jazz and Kings, and Jingles scoring quite well in this game.
Played really well.
Played really well. +20 on the night. Exum still a little bit quiet, but serviceable minutes. No Donovan Mitchell, which means it's good, I think, that they're able to get the win without him there, without that high volume score, and still score 133 points. Yeah,
that's where I think it kind of, early days, it kind of just like opened them up a little bit more, like got them a little bit moving, like got them playing a little bit differently. Obviously it's one game, and Sacramento Kings have been one of the faster teams in the league. So I guess
they're very mobile.
And then Royce O'Neal played well in this game as well. He didn't shoot that well, but defensively he was really good. It just doesn't seem like their defense can really open up their offense this season. It just doesn't seem they are able to do that, which was really a Utah thing in the past where they could just lock team down. All right, if we're not scoring well, then you're not scoring well either. But this year, it doesn't seem like they have been able to do that.
No.
And that, I think, mainly is the Gobert factor. Playing Gobert and Favors together has been a bit of a struggle. Ricky Rubio played pretty well, 27 points. And then Dante Exum, 20 minutes, 4 points, 2 or 5 from the field. I still think he's plugging into that team a little bit.
Too much instead of taking a bit of a standout role.
But I don't know if he's really got that all-round game yet.
He should. I suppose coming into, I think he's just happy to be playing and be healthy, and that's what we should be as well.
Yeah.
That he's 20 games into a season, has played every game pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good start for him, and he will be there for a while yet. Bucks lose to the Hornets.
Yeah. They just lose weird games, man.
They do. I told you. It's the same as just strange losing to Hornets. I mean, the Hornets are a good team. I think Kemba Walker's having a career season, finishing with 21 points with Jeremy Lamb. Tony Parker's a fantastic player, 15 points off the bench. I mean, you can't discount how good Tony Parker still is for his age. Hornets led early. Thon and Delhi had 6 minutes each and didn't do anything. Antetokounmpo only had 20 points. Like that's where, that's where you're going to struggle. Giannis is going to be scoring
not playing
30.
well, then you're going to really struggle to win.
Nearly
games.
a triple double though. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists.
Where have they went from Spurs to Charlotte, from Texas to Charlotte, but they had a day's practice. So. Maybe fatigue, maybe they're stunned. But obviously they were down by 25.
And
so it still shows when they get in this rhythm, when they get in that flow state, that's when they're the most dangerous. Yeah. It's just about understanding how they can be better defensively and turn that into more productive minutes on the offensive end, which I don't think they've mastered quite yet. Yeah. They're still kind of working that out, but that'll take time.
They just bricked a few in the final couple of minutes, and that kind of threw the
late
game away.
Execution's still a little bit suspect.
Yeah, a little bit suspect, and not really doing too much for that. Spurs and Bulls. Well, the Spurs were very lucky here and nearly trumped it against the Bulls. Paddy with 17 points. He's really good. 2 assists, 1 steal. LaMarcus is good for fourth quarter.
And he'll have a few of those games this season where he takes over and wins them a game.
Well, I mean, who have really the Bulls got that are going to take LaMarcus to town?
Yeah, for sure.
Robin Lopez.
Front court. Rollo.
The Zach LaVine's a rose in a turd bush, really. I don't know if they're rebuilding or what they're trying to do, if they've just got 5 guys that like scoring points and don't like winning games. But
yeah, they don't play much defense.
They don't play defense. I mean, nearly getting up here, but LaVine has been in fantastic form and shooting really well. But the Bulls can, again, like the Bucks, get out to big early, like 45-point quarters because everyone's shooting really well, and then they just go cold and it's game over because they can't lock down the defensive end, and that's pretty much done and dusted.
And I think a player like Jabari Parker and Zach LaVine, they fit those teams better. I don't have to play defense. I'm just going to just score my balls off, and I think they're the 2 of the players that are going to fit a team where they don't have to play defense. But what have you got after that?
Yeah, but
you don't really have much after that.
You don't win games.
Which is essentially why they are at the Bulls, and the Bulls are 5-16.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I like LaVine as a player, but even at the Timberwolves, you could kind of tell that this guy doesn't want to play defense. And he's not good enough to be the main guy on a team that's going to go to the finals.
No, he's not. But that's something that hopefully comes with a bit of time because he's an exciting offensive player. Just his defense is I
always felt like Jabari Parker was a little bit like that as well. Just defensively a little bit not there. But injury prone as well. So that's probably another aspect to
hard on his body.
And they've got a bunch of people out too, the Bulls.
Laurie Markkinen.
A bunch, I think there's 3 or 4 of them that are injured. Let's move it along to the Boston and the Pels. Good win for the Celtics.
Indeed. Bainesy playing 20 minutes.
Yep, 7 points, 2 or 4 from the field. Got to the line, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 5 fouls though. a lot of fouling, but Anthony Davis,
You are going to hit him a bit. He's a smart triple threat player.
Irving, 26.10 assist performance, and hitting a trademark fade over Davis late, which not many people score a fadeaway over Anthony Davis. Jason Tatum, he had 20, and then Davis finished with 27 points, 16 rebounds. What's your take on Anthony Davis this season?
I think it's much of the same. I mean, New Orleans are a good team. I think if they were in the East, then they would be top 5. I think in the West with some weird games.
Yeah.
I mean, New Orleans is quite East as well. I don't understand why they're in Western Conference. But he's playing well. Look, the team's playing well. Drew Holiday's having a career season. Julius Randle's looking really good. Nikola Mirotic is hit 6 threes as part of his 25 points this game. I think when they're on the night, they're on. I think they'll be there in some way, shape, or forms. I think Anthony Davis is too good to not be there, and with a couple other pieces that they have got, they will be there. It's just they're going to have that up and down season where they win strange games, lose strange games, and have like a bit of a run and then a bit of a cold run. But again, triple threat. And play quite well, just not hitting it up tonight. Something was working for the Celts.
So Randle kind of fits that team, right? And then if you look at how Anthony Davis started the season, he started hot and playing hard, and then he got injured. And
then they went soft.
And now it feels like I don't want to play too hard because I might get injured. I don't want to jeopardize my season by getting a long-term injury. I'm just going to play as hard as I can play. Like, it feels like he's a bit in his own head with his
maybe he's still dealing with the injury. Maybe he's still a bit sore. He's not playing 100%. And they need him because without him, they don't win.
Yeah. Well, I feel like watching them, you can see the difference in Anthony Davis. And if they had, obviously it's easier to say if they had another Anthony Davis like Joel Embiid, if they had another Joel Embiid, they as a team would be a lot stronger because they'd be able to supplement them.
They have Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah, he's still injured though. I think he's back on the roster, but didn't play a coach decision. Julius Randle kind of fits that, but he's not the finished product and he's not the same vertical player as Anthony Davis. No. He can't handle the ball as well. He can do some little things. There's some little sparks, but I think that's what they're missing is that extra big man who can, pull Davis out of having to do everything himself. Because that feels like the more he tries to do that, the more he starts to do that.
Well, I think what they probably should do is invest in a traditional 5 and put Davis at the 4 and let Davis kind of run that point forward.
Yeah.
Offense. So then you have Drew Holiday as that second ball handler, or you play Randall at the 5 and have like him being the big man down low, because I think that frees Davis's body up to hunt the block, rebound well, but also push the pace and push the offense. Because he's a fit guy, but we'll see some weird games from them. We'll see some up and downs.
So. I think there's just not. Like I said at the start of the season in our earlier pod, that Davis is in a contract year, so I can very easily see him just being like pulling up stumps and just going, "No, I'm out. I don't care." Like if they were losing games, they're 10 and 11. If they really lost a bunch of games, I can see him just being like, "No, I'm out." It kind of feels like it's going that way a little bit after he got injured.
Yeah,
but.
Who knows?
Maybe I'm just projecting my take.
I just don't think. I think he wants to win a championship, and I just don't think he's going to do that. Pelicans.
No, I don't either. They just don't have the players to supplement.
They just can't bring the players. I mean, who wants to go to New Orleans other than people that want to get pissed and party? I want to go. I love New Orleans, but maybe not a career town. All right, next game: Indiana and Utah and Chunk.
Yeah,
it was a bad loss.
Yeah, that was a bad loss, and. No Oladipo and then no Mitchell for the Jazz.
And again, there's that volume scorer that they were missing. It's that weird, like, all right, some games we can play really well without him, and then some games we just need a player to take over because none of us are shooting the ball well.
Well, on the other side, you've got Miles Turner, who played really well against Gobert. And Miles Turner is a versatile guy who can shoot from kind of 13, 14
feet. But
that's
you bring Gobert out, you destroy the Jazz because Gobert's really
seemingly it's going that way, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's the player. I think he's the player that we thought, but the game's evolved. I mean, it's hard to say how the game's evolved in a year, but it has. More threes have been shot this year. More big men are coming into the fray that can take out to the elbow and just blast past guys that are just sit and block hunt.
Teams are getting smarter. They're using their body better. They're dribbling a lot better and understanding how to move guys around. I think Houston switching last year actually gave a lot of teams the impetus to go, oh, we can kind of play like that. Or we can work out some schemes. Oh, this work kind of works a little bit. And they're molding it to their own team now. And I think like Orlando has that 3 big men who are quite versatile, fast and big. Other teams are starting to put these teams together. Like you look at here, Tyreek Evans, Thaddeus Young, and Sabonis even, and Doug McDermott. They're all big, fast sort of guys who can put the ball on the floor. And then you've got basically Gobert, who's like a statue and sits at the dunker spot, hunts blocks. And if you move him around, the whole Jazz defense seems to just fall apart. It's brutal to watch, man. But they were 9-12 after this game, 2-6 at home. Losing a lot of bad games at home, man.
Yeah, that should be definitely a Jazz win. We'll move
at least on. More competitive than that. Did we scores? 10 points to Ingles, minus 8. Yeah. 9 points for Dante Exum.
3 of 11 though. 3 of 11, just really putting up some things. Jingles had 5 steals, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a tricky player when it comes to that. He can obviously pinch the ball quite well.
Crafty.
Yeah, definitely crafty. Again, when you're not a natural athlete or don't have an NBA kind of style body, you've got to be crafty with your...
Old man craft.
Yeah. Next game, 76ers and the Knicks. The 76ers had this pretty much down pat from the get-go.
Yeah.
Shot well from beyond 3. Butler locked down Hardaway Jr. and Redick hit I think it was 9 of 10. Game over. Simmons had 14 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal in 24 minutes.
That was at home, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
So just a game where a road team comes in, you just slap them around a bit for them, get the confidence up.
That's it. It was nice to see. Good for the fans. Butler didn't obviously play. He didn't score quite well, but it was a bit of a Reddick game. Shamet came on and played quite well. Man, he's a good pickup for a rookie.
Yeah.
Just slots in for 18 minutes and plays really well. Obviously, no Marco Fultz. We had some TJ time. TJ played most of the last quarter and did what TJ does. He was a pest and pests everyone in a full court press, which is kind of hilarious. Just some news. The Sixers hope to provide a medical update on Markel Fultz sometime in the near future. There's been a lot of trade talk and rumors. I think we're going to go into a special pod about that one, but see where he could land. But I think he's definitely on the trading block as we speak. All right, we'll move on to Jazz and Nets.
Yep.
This is a good win for the Jazz.
Yeah, they needed a win badly.
Mitchell is back and hit 29 points, and there you are. That's the volume scorer winning. I mean, the Nets are a hot and cold team. They've actually got some good pieces this year, and they might sneak into the 8th spot in the East.
Just because of how the East is, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be nice for them because they've had a few miserable years of garbage. But again, they don't have the big guy at the elbow, and Gobert was feasting. 23 points, 16 rebounds, 4 blocks. And that's really, we say it, the Jazz, Gobert against Steven Adams. That's how they won that series as well.
Yeah.
A lot of big man on big man. Gobert's obviously got the size and the reach on him.
Yeah.
That's why Mo Bamba is going to be this interesting enigma because he's the Gobert size, the ridiculous wingspan, but he can shoot the 3-ball quite well. So if he comes out and develops any kind of career at the mid-range, it's just going to be weird because he's a guy that can sit in the corner but come out, defend, and also bring other bigs out at the elbow. Jingles had 7 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, plus 18.
Yeah, so he did a lot for his team.
Yeah, but just running. He should be shooting. He's just running the offense.
He's actually shooting 38.5%, which is as low as his opening season for Utah. So he's not shooting well. He's not
shooting well. He's not getting the shots. Like, he's the guy that runs to the corner, is wide open, and drains the 3. He's shooting too many contested shots because there's not the screen or the big man, or he doesn't screen off the curl, so Gobert's pretty much useless. He's a guy that you got to be fast in transition. Mitchell's got to drive and kick, and that's pretty much what it is. And we didn't see that we haven't seen that at all this season. But Utah blasted by the Nets 31-13 in the fourth quarter. And D'Angelo Russell was not hot this game. 6 of 25 for 14 points. That's pretty much all we have to say about that game. And the next game, which I personally love, is the Mavs demolishing of the Rockets.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And Luka Doncic taking James Harden to town.
Yeah, in the corner. Just in the corner.
Both. You see that? Just both of them. I think that was a foul, personally.
Which one? The
off center one where he kind of fell over. I mean, Harden would have been called for that in the day. Yeah. A little bit of contact, but nothing. I do like your notes here. Eat a fat plate of Dick's Houston.
I'm not a Warriors fan. I swear to God, I'm not.
Yeah, but
yeah, I watched that game. I watched a little bit of it live. Houston they just can't seem to get the roll on that they were getting last year. Like,
they miss Ariza. Yeah. They miss Ariza.
Defensively, I don't know if the matchup, obviously, between the Mavs and Houston is quite similar. DeAndre Jordan and Capella. Then you got kind of Tucker was taken out of this game. I think maybe because of Doncic's size. Yeah. Getting to the rim a little bit more. He was having to move around a lot more. But the Mavs seem to throw all these weird different options at him. And obviously Houston came all the way back in the second half. And I think they almost tied the game. I was just having a look here. They got it back to within 5 points. And then pretty much they blew it out mid-fourth quarter, and that was it. I think it was Wesley Matthews hit a few threes, and Ryan Broekhoff, he got 4 garbage time minutes. He didn't really do anything. But this Houston team is just
They're not the team last year. They're missing the defensive elements that they traded away and are really, they've tried to recruit, and I just don't think people want to play with Chris Paul. And they're not recruiting the quality of players that they need to really build a team. I think that they very well could miss out on the playoffs this year. I mean, Harden's dropping 50s.
Miss out on the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there in the West.
That's a big call.
Well, if you're losing to teams like the Mavs, which haven't started well, it's a big long line. I think Minnesota is coming up with the addition of Rocco, and Saric. So they've improved. I think 2 players out for one.
They're second last. Oh wait, no, that's games back in wins. Houston are. Second last, 9-11. Wow.
So I mean, it's early in the system, early in the season.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it out there. I think they may miss this one. Anyway, enough of Houston talk. Bulls and Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks. I think that's the last game, is it, or is there
one more after that?
Yeah.
Bucks 116-113. So the Bulls obviously putting something together. Thon had no points in 11 minutes, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Giannis, season high, 36 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. I think it was just a good scoring point from Jabari Parker and Zach LaVine. Again, putting some good scoring together. They tried to miss. It was Lopez on Lopez crime. Rolo versus Brolo.
Yeah.
And that's always hilarious to see. But
actually, who is playing really well in this system is Malcolm Brogdon for the Bucks, which is kind of getting in the way of Delhi. If
because the second ball handler, he can shoot.
And he's playing really well. He's getting to the rim really well, and he can shoot well. Yeah, so that's a bit of a shame for him. For Delhi, that is. Thon obviously getting a little bit lucky with that Henson injury. He was not great in this game. You can see his rawness where sometimes he's stuck in the wrong position. Sometimes he can't use his body because he doesn't have that thick set body yet. Jabari Parker kind of went at him a few times and he struggled a little bit.
Well, again, it's one of those things where you're not playing a hell of a lot of game time. It's always hard. And probably in this system, we're finding more and more that maybe it's not the system for Thon.
I think it is. It just...
Maybe his rawness, he needs to just cook for a couple of years. I mean, he's still young.
For sure.
He'll probably be on a mil and a half a season come the end of his rookie contract.
I think he kind of has to get faster and smarter for his size.
Yeah.
It feels like he hasn't quite grown into his size yet. He just still feels a little bit long and a little bit raspy, a little bit scratchy on the ball. Yeah.
A little bit bol.
Minute bowl or bol.
Bol. Minute bowl.
But it's good to see him getting some more minutes anyway. I think down the stretch of the season, he's going to get 10 or 12 minutes if Henson's not there, especially come playoffs time.
Yeah.
I think it'll be important.
And if Connaughton he's been chunking a little bit the last few games, potentially some more minutes out of there at the 4.
Yeah.
Brogdon finished with 24 points, 5 rebounds and 6 assists, and that is a good...
And that's basically what keeps Delhi off the floor if Brogdon's playing well.
Which he has been all season, and good luck to him. He's doing really it well.
And fits that team really well, getting to the rim. Spurs and...
T-Wolves. Covington.
Oh, Covington, what a beast.
Plus 44.
Jeez.
This is the record for Minnesota in plus minus.
That's insane.
He's defensive behemoth.
Yeah,
he really is.
I'm happy for him that he's at least, playing really well. Even it sucks that he left Philly because he's a good guy to watch, but it's good to see that he is playing well. Poor Saric isn't playing well at all. But
no, but he's not getting the right minutes, and that's Saric. Saric worked a lot. Saric isn't a guy that creates his own shot. He relied on Ben Simmons. He relied on TJ. He's a guy that's going to knock down shots if you get him open, but that's about it. Maybe play some old school back down game if you need to, but that's not the way it's going at the moment.
Paddy, 18 minutes, 6 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 1 rebound, 3 assists. He probably just got munched by Covington because
absolutely munched. I think Minnesota were 48 up at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a horrible outing by by the Spurs. But again, road trip away from home, you can kind of forgive them for that.
Yeah.
And they just absolutely got munched. And I think we can leave that there with that game.
Yeah, that's, I think, a bad note to end on. But we've cleared out all the games and...
We are up to date.
Yeah, Friday is here and there's a big weekend of games coming up.
There is indeed. So we're going to have those out for you early next week, as well as a turbo pod on the Markel Fultz saga and a bit of Kyle Korver and what that potentially can add now that Alec Burks is at Cleveland. And we'll hopefully get that G League pod out to you, all the update on the Aussies in the G League ASAP.
Working on that, yeah.
Working on that, but we just want to get you as much game info as possible. We're a quarter way through the season now.
Doesn't
officially.
feel like it though, does it?
No. It feels like a long time.
That's what I mean when you glue yourself into so many different NBA games that kind of starts to blend into
one. We got a while to go. We got a long time to go. Sure. This is a long season, peeps. Remember, subscribe, like, subscribe.
Yeah,
that's
like,
the Jewish version.
Subscribe.
Subscribe is the Jewish version. So subscribe, like, share, do what you need to do. Get us out there. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Podcast Addict, or your relevant Android podcast apps. And if you like the Sydney Kings, on the Kings Dime. Getting a lot of good feedback from that pod.
Yep.
So if you like it, 40-minute recap each week, looking at the game and also outlook into the following games. We're about a third of the way through the season NBL now. Yeah, about a third.
About 8 and 9 games.
Yeah.
In a 28-game season.
Yeah, so a third. And that is going a little bit up and down for Sydney, but check it out.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe, and we will see you next time. Peace.